It's among the most iconic images of all time, and one the Chinese government has tried to erase from history. A lone protester stands alone in the streets, blocking tanks from moving into Tiananmen Square. A day after Chinese troops opened fire on unarmed students, demanding democracy and freedom.
It was the swift and terrible ending to the Beijing Spring of 1989.
Beijing city was under siege, and then it was a massacre. There's no other word to describe.
That moment is being remembered everywhere except where it happened. On this, the 30th anniversary of the bloody action in Beijing.
It was to be one of the darkest hours in recent Chinese history. The sticks and stones of the students proving no real match against the military might of one of the world's biggest armies.
Fast forward to today, and Chinese authorities have all but erased any memory of the time when they almost lost power. One of the student leaders, who now lives in exile in Taiwan, says China is no closer to reform.
The Western world in the last 20, 30 years nurtured China to become what it is today, a monstrous government that suppresses their own people.
Hundreds, if not thousands of people were killed when their weeks-long demonstration ended in violent bloodshed. China has never provided a death toll. In Beijing, there are no public memorials. Instead, the grim anniversary is marked by silence and security.
We have received reports alleging that a number of people have been detained and others have received threats. We've also received reports that there has been increased censorship.
Security around the square is tight, and the government has put the country's social media sites on lockdown, with any reference of the slaughter scrubbed from the internet.
And while he talked to the crew and ignored the gunfire, he stopped all of them.
That image, I think, is going to be with us for a long time.
In a rare public acknowledgement, China's defense minister recently defended the events.
It was political turmoil and the government needed to quell it. The government acted decisively to stop the turbulence, and this was the correct policy.
From that day on, they said, okay, we're going to give you the economic freedom in exchange. You will give us your submission. We lost.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has marked today's 30th anniversary by saying he has real concerns about China's human rights record and its treatment of minority Muslims in the country. Meanwhile, a sea of candlelight at a public square in Hong Kong, where the only commemoration of the anniversary is allowed in China.